years old isn't a reference to his age, it's a reference to his dynasty. So for example, Omri reigned for 6 years, Ahab reigned for 22 years, Ahaziah reigned for 2 years, and Joram reigned for 12 years. In total, that dynasty lasted for 42 years. It's not just a coincidence.
So in the 42nd year of the Omri dynasty, that's when he began to reign.
So was it altogether 22 or was it altogether 42?
No, the
22
of the dynasty when he began to reign.
Do you have a head, Jack?
And his age
Nah.
when he began to
Is
reign
that-
was 22.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
see,
Do you have a stand?
I need to find a stand. I need to find a phone post with a head jack. And you might need to log into your Twitch on like a different phone for a second, like incognito.
Yeah.
My point would be because they didn't make that differentiation in the Bible. So
Okay,
we
I'm
made
back.
that differentiation because the verses were exactly the same. The only thing that was
Yeah,
different-
No, it's not
because
that.
If you read previous chapters, you'll see how long each king reigned for.
The thing
It's
is,
just
this
inference
is
from
this
the
is an
text.
issue of you not actually reading those
I
books.
know, but look, like you said, you quoted scholars, Bible scholars themselves. They literally say it. That it's a copyist error.
That's
We
the
don't
thing.
go. Well, no, we don't go. Hold on.
Authority.
The only reason I use Bart Ehrman was not as an authority. I use Bart Ehrman as just an individual who is an atheist as an opinion.
The scholars who say that it's a
Right,
copyist error.
yeah, it's an
Hold
authority
on. Our
authority.
scholars are the early Christian doctors of the church. Go by them. The same way, I can get you someone, for example, there is a scholar known as Saba Mahmoud, okay? She's a Muslim scholar, but she argues that traditional Sunni understandings of Islam should be more open to understanding feminism. You're going to say she's wrong because your actual scholars, the ancient Muslims, disagree with her. We have ancient Christians. Go by them. We don't go by 2022 or 2018 or 2003 or 1987. We go by the early doctors of the church. Go by those guys. They're cool. But you don't know any of them. That's your issue. You don't know what we believe. You don't know my tradition. You don't know my history. All you've done,
You said the same. You said the same.
I never argued against your tradition.
No, I get you.
So it wouldn't matter, would it?
I thought, okay, cool. You have answered a few questions. That's good. No, I agree. It's good.
Can I ask you questions?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so I do philosophy and I do historical theology. My question is this. You believe that Allah is one, correct? What does one mean?
Just one, indivisible. One.
Indivisible. That's great. Do you believe that Allah has attributes?
Of course.
Okay, my issue for that is that I believe your God has metaphysical parts. Okay?
That's an argument within our religion itself. Like, there's
I know, but I'm bringing it to you. It's not good that it's like saying, oh, well, we argue about this among ourselves. Great, you argue too. Doesn't really change anything.
Say the questions. What is
Cool.
the question?
So the definition of a part is something about a subject that is not the whole of the subject.
Nor external to it.
Nor external to it. We're not going to say that they're external to Allah, but a part needs to be something pertaining to a subject that is not the whole of it. This is what's important. When you say that Allah has knowledge, is that the whole of what Allah is? What would it therefore be?
Something he has, it's an attribute.
It would be part. It would be a part of what Allah is. So then parts, metaphysically, are necessarily finite. The number of attributes doesn't matter. They're all going to be metaphysical parts of Allah.
If you know everything,
Therefore, He's finite.
it's not finite.
No, we're talking about God's knowledge.
You're saying we're talking about Allah as a we're talking about Allah as a subject. So when you say Allah is powerful, that is not the whole of what Allah is. That is part of what He is.
Just merciful.
Right, exactly. But the problem is anything that has metaphysical parts is metaphysically finite. So your God is not infinite.
And it makes it
That
contingent.
doesn't make any sense.
Why doesn't it make sense? Why doesn't it make sense?
You can be all those things at once and still be
No,
one.
you're not getting what we're saying.
What?
You're not getting what we're saying.
I'm saying your God is
You're saying there are separate parts in God's.
well, not separate, just different
At
parts.
least you can make distinctions in between them.
Now my issue is this: they're not the whole. None of these individual things about Allah are the whole of what Allah is. These are part of what Allah is, they're not the whole. Therefore, even if you want to say He's one, He is just a composite. He is a composite one.
Attributes though, they're not parts.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem is this. The problem is this. Just saying that they're attributes doesn't make them not parts anymore. For example, you have attributes.
Okay, the
Those attributes are parts.
Like the most merciful.
The most merciful is something about Allah, correct? Is that thing, the most merciful, the whole of what Allah is?
Exactly.
That's a part.
It is all
encompass it. It's like
Wait,
You're
but
just
before
talking
you
about mercy
proceed.
itself.
Mercy itself as an attribute.
Wait. Let's just
power
get
itself.
okay.
About
Wait, let's
the
just go
attribute
back to
itself,
what
like
a
its scope
definition
Yeah.
of a part is, right?
Wait,
In
A
reference
part
yeah,
is
hold on.
something which is
We're
not
talking about the
identical
object,
to
and it's the
X,
being Allah,
nor
how those
extrinsic
parts
to
relate to
X. And because
what's
you're
the
saying
relation?
the attributes aren't extrinsic
They're
to Allah,
understanding it
nor are
as-
they identical to Allah.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're going to be part of Allah by the
thing is-
definition of what part is.
You're understanding it.
But God is still one.
If it's contingent,
Yeah,
Allah,
but he's just composite.
many parts.
He's just the composite.
He has many attributes.
So, which are all metaphysical parts. So then he's
What's the actual point?
Then the point would be that because the metaphysical parts, he's metaphysically finite.
These
That doesn't
parts, have you got it from the scripture or from your own mind?
Why can't this be?
Is Allah all-knowing? Is Allah all-knowing? Why would you disagree? Thank you. So, with that being said,
All knowing is something different.
no, all-knowing.
I'm telling you.
Okay, let's let him
In your
finish.
Bible, it says. what I'm
That's a two-quay, I don't care. That's a two-quay.
So okay, let me ask you then. So what would your you're the Christian God? Is he not all merciful?
That's also whataboutism.
It's not 3 in 1.
That's a two-quay.
They're trying to argue that Jesus is Trinity.
Oh, yeah.
That's a two-quay. Thank you for that. That's a two-quay. Now, here's my issue. Those things, you're trying to answer the question as the way that, you're trying to answer the question the way that they relate to the world. Like, his all mercifulness encompasses the whole world. I understand that.
No, it's everything that he created.
Yeah, everything, exactly. We're not talking about creation. Let's say creation does not exist. He would still be the all merciful, yes? Great. That about Allah, that's not the whole of what Allah is, correct? That's a part. That's part of what Allah
Definitionally,
is.
that's what a part
Definitionally, that's part of what Allah is.
Okay, yeah.
But then that means you need to say that Allah has parts.
What I would say is
Do
this.
you guys agree to that?
Yeah, what
Sure. Oh, wait, hold on.
You're one person.
By the way, you sound. Wait, guys, hold on. You
Oneness is the central tenet, so we can't.
is oneness the whole of what Allah is.
Oh, you got a spider.
What do you mean?
He's one.
He is one, but oneness, the oneness of Allah, is that the whole of what Allah is. There's other things, and I know you know that. So it's not the whole. Now here's my issue. When you said he's one being, make sure everyone understands it. You said he's one being. Have you ever heard anyone else in the park say God is one being?
Oh.
Who said?
Oh.
Now you could be wrong, but the thing is Christians in this park usually say that. Now I'm not saying that's what we believe. I'm just saying you sound like them now when I'm using this argument. The Christians in this park. Now here's my issue. When you say that Allah is one, that's part of what Allah is. Allah is merciful, part of what Allah is. Allah is knowledgeable, part of, I hate the word knowledgeable, it's really silly. Allah has knowledge, part of what Allah is. All of these things are metaphysical parts of what Allah is. They are not the whole of the subject. Now, this is the issue. You then need to say that Allah has metaphysical parts. Good. Do you accept that for now?
Let's just say we do.
Okay, then Allah is finite.
He's not composite.
Huh? If you have parts, you're composite.
How do you get to that conclusion? Yeah, how do you get to that conclusion?
Anything that has parts is finite. Because a part of a...
A certain amount of parts that you can have.
Repeat that again.
Oh yeah, Allah's a composite.
3, 2, 1.
Anything that has parts isn't finite.
Everything that has parts is finite.
The 2 times table has parts.
Yeah.
It has 6.
It's also finite. You prove my point.
No.
You can go.
Okay,
That means we don't know what infinity is.
It's potentially
The two, it has potential infinitude. Yes.
There's a difference between
It does
potential
so
and
you got infinity out of nowhere.
No. Hold on. You have finitude. Hold on. What is half of 2 times 2? So sorry. What is half of the 2 times table? Can you get half of the 2 times table?
It's the numbers.
No, not the 1 times table. So you know how you have the 2 times table, 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That line of 2 times table, that set of the 2 times table, can you get 50% of that?
Yeah.
What's 50% of the 2 times table? Because it's infinite.
Okay, but the 2 times table is 50% of the whole number line, which is also infinite.
The 2 times table isn't the number line. The number line is just numbers.
Table is half of the number.
No.
It's half as big, but they're both
It's
infinite.
50%, and then from 0
See, we can both do
negative
sophistry.
That's not, hold on. That's not half of infinity. No, it's not.
minus infinity.
When, okay,
As many
what's, hold on.
in the whole.
Okay, numbers themselves, hold on. You're misunderstanding how numbers work. Numbers either have,
For every one.
numbers either have,
In the 2 times table, there's 2.
no. Numbers either have, hold on, yeah, you study maths, okay. What is the nature of the existence of a number? You study maths.
That's philosophy
Cool.
of maths. There's different ideas. There's
Great, philosophy of maths. Okay, numbers either posit something in reality that is positive in its existence or negative in its existence. So the number 1 itself, we can conceptualize as just a positive cardinal number, correct? Now, -1 is the negation of that cardinal number. It doesn't actually exist. The same way 0 doesn't exist.
But you were talking about the number line.
Pardon?
You were talking about the number line.
The number line is the number line is just the way that we can physically plot them. That's not an actual thing.
Yeah, I know, but right there you just said
So
number line.
the number line, so the number line itself, right, has an infinitude of numbers. But you're saying, okay, we can get slap bang in the middle of that and put that to that side, slap bang in the middle of that and put that to that side. What's in between -0 and 1? -1 and 1? Does 0 exist? No, it does not. Great. So where do you draw the line?
Do numbers exist?
You can't. Numbers themselves
Numbers
pertain.
exist, zero
Yeah.
exists. If numbers are
What is 0? Wait, no.
the whole tangent.
What is 0?
How many eggs are in my hand?
No, you're proving my point. There is nothing there. 0 does not exist. Thank you. So thank you for proving my point. 0 does not exist.
But the concept exists.
Yeah.
You can have nothing.
But that's because no.
You're getting confused.
That's like
Because hold on. By the way, that's just for our ease of access. The only reason we have 0 at all is so that we can make maths work. 0 in itself does not exist. The number 1 or unity in itself does exist. Duality in itself does exist. Triadality does exist as well, right? But the issue is 0, which is just the negation of numerical value.
Negative is a negation.
Negative is a negation. Sorry, absence. That was the word. The absence of any value doesn't exist. It's an absence. It's not even a thing. So there's no line that you can draw on the number line. We can conceptualize of like halving the 0, I guess.
Yeah, but we call that 0.
It's a thing as a concept.
What are you calling? Wait, hold on.
We call that 0.
We're straying from the
You're straying
main-
for the point. The main point is this. Yeah. But hold on. The main point is this, right? A fraction. No, the main point. The main point of the argument is this: when you have the fraction of a thing, fractions themselves are necessarily finite. For example, 1 over infinity.
Okay, yeah.
If you put that into
can
a,
divide 1.
you can divide.
0.2, 0.2.
Yeah, no, 1 is an actual thing, right? And you can divide 1 into different things. A fraction of a thing is always going to be finite. So the only way you can have the fraction of an infinite thing is 1 over infinity or x over infinity.
You can halve something at infinite times.
What?
Infinite fraction.
No, you can't, because you're not getting any other fractions. What's 2 over infinity? It's undefined. The answer in a calculator is undefined.
No, that's if you divide by 0.
No, if you divide by infinity.
There's no infinity button first of all.
Actually, put it in a calculator.
There's no infinity button on the calculator.
You can't divide by infinity. No, you can't.
You can do 2 over n limit as n approaches infinity.
As it approaches infinity, does it ever
That's a
get there?
potential infinity,
That's
not an
potential
actual
infinitude. Does it ever get to infinity?
You don't know that.
As it it's as it approaches infinity. We know what infinity is. We have a thing for that.
A potential infinity is just something that keeps on approaching towards infinity and never stops, but it never actually gets there.
Yeah,
An actual
Ilif norm,
infinity is
right?
something that's
Yeah, Ilif
actually
norm is what we call infinity. But the issue is this: when you have 1 over infinity, for example, if you put it into a calculator, this is why actually in philosophy there is
What
conceptions of
calculator have you put this into?
put it on your phone. Desmos, that's crazy. I don't have Desmos. I have an iPhone. Do you get? But
As in like, what has the infinity button? Wolfram.
what?
There's no infinity
It's
bar.
going to say 0, trust me.
It's gonna either say 0 or undefined.
If
It's
you find the
undefinable.
calculator- Yeah. Well,
It's
you at least-
undefinable.
You at least
Okay,
get 0.
fair enough. It's undefined.
It's right.
I'm just trying to get
So
to
that's the thing. There is no definition for 1 over infinity because you can't do it.
Okay, fair enough. Right.
So if you have a part, it has to be finite because you can't have a part of an infinite. Because the part of the thing is already finite. The part of the thing is finite.
You can put
have
an
an
infinite
infinite
thing.
Because there's an end. You can't have infinite parts.
This is what the argument really comes down to. The point is to ask, in virtue of a particular part of an object, what is the mereological relation between the part of an object?
No, asthma. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, necessity and contingency.
Okay, so the point is that if it's necessity that is the relation between this particular attribute and Allah, right? We have to ask the question. It's specific to your understanding.
Thank you.
If it's
Thank you so much.
contingency,
I have no understanding.
you've no understanding.
It can fail to exist.
Yeah, I'm just
So
listening.
it can fail to exist. But look, the point is that if it's necessity that is the relation between the object and the thing,
Then they're necessary.
identical.
Actually, do this.
If it's contingency,
And then contingency springs from the rest of it.
well, the point is, if it's contingency, it means it depends on. that
Yeah.
thing. What is that? If it is a part, then it is contingent.
On the whole.
If it's not a part, then it would be
So
necessary.
does
So
Allah's
you are
attributes
contingent
depend
on
on
If
him?
you're saying,
On the one
if you're
How
saying,
many do you have?
what is that?
We don't know your number, but the issue is this:
Like whatever
when you have
attributes-
attributes, you have. I know.
You deny divine simplicity.
But this is my issue. Hold on, let's show. Then there will be 99 parts. But the issue is this: even
That's what you're trying to
They're
say.
trying to like,
the finitude. No, the finitude is just.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't talk about 3-1.
is that not what you're trying
No, I'm talking to you about your belief. Remember?
You're trying to
So,
stick it in, though.
no, I'm not. I never talked about the Trinity once. You did though. Now here's my issue. When you have the mercy of Allah, is that independent in its existence?
Actually, no. It's dependent on Allah.
It's dependent on Allah. So then, there are
Okay,
things.
those attributes are
So then there are things. Great. So then, wait. So then God has contingent attributes. Wait. Okay. My friend. Let's dust you off for a second, okay?
Independent.
Let's dust you off.
Yo,
That's
that's
a
a
trap.
good
It doesn't mean he's wrong.
It's not a trap. I'm trying to make sure that he thinks. That's why I dusted you off. First of all, you're wearing Nike, and you have a bottle in your hand. First of all, let's breathe in and chill, okay? Think about your answer before you answer it. Now, let's say the infinite power of Allah. Is that independent or dependent?
It's a consequence of. It's a necessary consequence
Okay.
of Him who is also necessary. So
Is it
it's-
independent
it's
in
all
itself?
necessary.
So it's necessary as well.
It's independent in exactly the same way that God's existence is independent.
Okay, so you have Allah and then you have Allah's power.
That's polytheism.
Allah's power, hold on. He says it's not, he's undecided, and you're saying it is. So you have 3 views here. Because you haven't given your view, right? So you're undecided. Right. I didn't strawman you though, did I?
It's not
Cool.
arbitrary. I don't think it's-
No, I said arbitrary. No, this is the issue. When you say that they're independent, okay, you have Allah himself and then you have the power of Allah. They're not independent. Are they dependent then?
Dependent or independent?
They're either dependent or independent.
They're necessary.
Okay, they're necessary, but something can still be necessarily dependent. For example, animality.
No. Then it's contingent.
If God
Yeah.
never existed,
They're necessary in the sense that they're not contingent.
Okay, so then you're just saying that they're modally necessary, as in they cannot fail to exist.
if God doesn't exist, then his power can't exist.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, that's like an infighting thing, like the attributes of God. What are they?
So then that means that those attributes are dependent. Are you happy with that?
So there's
Okay.
contingency in God.
So then they're contingent.
yeah.
God, yeah, we accept that, yeah.
Great. So if they're contingent, then Allah has things about himself that are contingent.
No, because Allah is necessary.
Allah is necessary.
If those attributes by their nature,
that is true.
if they come from Allah,
Wait, let him think.
Allah is
then
the only
they're
thing
also
that's independent.
necessary.
Everything else is dependent on Him.
So
Whether
those
it be His attributes, whether it be us, whether it be the prophets, everything is dependent on Him.
Are those
even His power won't be around if He didn't have.
Are those attributes part of Allah? Are they something about Allah?
Yes.
So he has things about himself that are dependent.
On Him, yes.
Great. So Allah is dependent on himself. There you go.
So Allah's contingent.
So Allah is contingent. Your God is
Anything that's
contingent.
dependent on anything.
No, you're talking because you just
Your God is
you
contingent.
just jump from the attributes to Him.
No, we're
You
talking about
said
the attributes in relation to him.
His attributes contingent, and then you say He's contingent.
God, so you're saying that means God is
What, you want me to hold it?
Also, you lot.
The attributes are
let's
contingent on the
change
essence.
because you lot.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want
We
to do
don't know
that.
about the cosmological argument.
When they say the cosmological argument,
No one's saying
the
that.
cosmological argument is proving God exists. We're not talking about whether God exists. We've already accepted that. Your issue is that you have metaphysical parts, number 1,
Also,
and number
us
2.
two have had arguments about the
Yeah.
necessity and contingent.
But then you also, and this is my issue, you also have things pertaining to God that are contingent, that are dependent. That's my issue. Okay?
Don't you have things?
No, we don't. This is a two-cook way. We don't do that.
So what? He's
Let's
just
say,
a-
for example,
he's just a-
no. Let's say, for example, you're Eastern Orthodox. The Eastern Orthodox tradition, what happens?
It's an iPhone.
Yeah.
So why isn't this going into that?
Oh, it's because hold on. It's because of my card. Give me a second. We're trying to set some stuff up. As we're saying, basically, when you have things pertaining, here you go. Yeah.
Not identical to the
That's what I was saying, though. I was
Yeah,
saying
that- so-
That's a part.
Yeah, so if
I
we
was
go
saying that the
over-
parts are necessary in the exact same way that God is necessary.
Oh, okay, if the
They're
parts
necessary through the essence. What? It should go in. It's in now. Just push it in.
You're saying they're not identical.
Or Rico, or they're independent of God, which means you're a polytheist because you're saying that's necessary things.
Independent.
apart.
Yep.
They're
And
necessary.
then now, please hold the power button on
So
both of them
either
at the
you're
same
a
time.
partial-
Okay, where's power button? You do it.
Okay. Please.
I'll hold the phone. Yeah.
I think we can take it back to the number line. We can take it back to the number line. The 2 times table is the necessary part of the 1 times
What is
table.
God? What is God?
What?
Is God a necessary existence?
So this is
If
your
there are two
receiver.
things that
Okay.
are necessary,
Does that go on me or does that go on?
There's two
there's
gods.
two gods.
That's polytheism.
How does it even work?
There's two necessary, uncreated, eternal things that exist. That's two
You don't want to
gods.
say that they are independent. You don't want to say they're independent.
This one
They are
goes on you, it's the mic.
related.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
That one goes on you, and then this one you have to
It's
hold
gonna.
it.
Am I holding it?
I guess
Yeah.
Apologia will do, yeah? Just go on your Twitch login or whatever, and you have like an hour of battery. And then if you just get him to hold it, that'd be great. I'm backing up a dude.
Yeah. So wait. So we go on go live here.
Yeah, go live, go live.
Stream IRL. And yeah.
And then see if anyone can hear you or whatever.
Okay. Okay, chat. Can you hear me, chat? It's gonna take some time for them to come in. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. But you can see here that when you talk,
Yeah.
there is volume.
Ah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. BRB, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Just get into film.
Yo. Yo, what you saying? Yeah, film this
we
stuff.
live.
We live. All right,
We live out
cool.
here.
We live. Okay, we are live. What's going on, chat? You know what I'm saying? Ads are on, so make sure you sub to the thing. Wait, hold on. Let me see if it's on. Yeah. What's going on, chat? Make sure you sub to the thing. Okay, we put bare ads on the thing, so you man make sure you sub. Yeah, I'm trying to make money. I'm kidding. We're at Speaker's Corner. We're live, okay? Let's do this. All right, we're actually in a discussion right now.
We're in a discussion about Allah's
existed at
parts.
some point, and then he just another point. That's why I'm continuing.
You don't want to talk?
Aren't you-
Wait.
God.
You said an argument doesn't need a premise. Wait. He said an argument doesn't need a
When does the chain
premise.
of causation
I remember
change
him.
from contingency and necessary?
What?
So the chain of causation, let's say. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know too much about
Oh wait,
it.
these men
I've
are
got to
saying
come back.
audio
I'll
is
go
a
to my van and help out Ananda. I'll be back unless you like.
Make sure you park there.
If I can, I'll
Yeah.
see.
Do what you need to do, man. It's alright. Okay. As you were doing what? So.
yo, SIIIG, they're saying the audio ain't working.
No way the audio not working.
Just buzz it. Wait, let me hear.
Is it buzzing?
Wait,
So
maybe
don't
if I-
buzz. Yeah. What the heck?
How do I attach this to myself?
What? Yeah.
Maybe if I-
Oh. No, it's like that. It's that way. What?
Yeah, it's moving a bit booty.
It's God's hands debate.
Yeah, it's literally that debate.
I mean, God. I mean, I don't know if you know if God's hands are infinite or not, though.
Muslims debate about
There you go.
Some
There you
debate
go.
about a lot.
Wait, do you believe that? Do you believe that Allah
Do you-
has two hands, two right hands?
I believe
So
Allah.
we have
Back up to
Yeah,
you.
we have different opinions on
Oh,
this.
okay, let's
Wait.
ask
Is that okay?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
I believe that Allah doesn't.
Pan the audio.
Pan the audio.
Oh, shut up. We don't even need the mic, though. That's the thing.
Johan says audio don't work.
Yeah. It's calm. Wait.
Wait, are you muted on this thing or?
I'm not muted, bro.
not muted.
Alright, that's calm.
Alright, cool.
I don't even know. I was gonna put my AirPods in and just do it like that. I'm running.
And it's nothing like his creation.
There's nothing like his
So then how, wait,
wait,
if there's
wait,
nothing
wait,
like
wait,
his
wait,
creation, so then how do you, okay, when you say that Allah has mercy, what is that?
But for me, that's too compositional, isn't it?
What do you mean? What is
Yeah,
What is that?
Okay, when you say Allah is nothing like his creation, do you mean he's nothing like his creation in
In any sense at all?
no, because God did say we created.
So then he is like his
So he
creation.
is like his creation in some sense then.
But unfathomable.
No, but you're in like
He's
in the
unfathomable.
physical sense.
In the physical sense. Okay, is mercy physical?
No.
We have mercy, correct?
Yes.
Is our mercy physical?
No.
So is Allah like our mercy then?
No. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Is Allah's mercy like our mercy?
No,
No.
He says no,
okay,
you say no. So then, what is Allah's mercy?
Allah's mercy.
Ultimate forgiveness, isn't it?
Ultimately what?
Ultimate forgiveness.
Ultimate forgiveness. How do you know it's ultimate forgiveness? There's
Allah
nothing in creation that's like Allah.
It's belief.
Okay,
You believe
no
it,
one
sure.
knows anything.
But is your belief justified?
Yes.
Okay, how do you justify your belief?
I believe in God.
I believe in God too. But I know that there are things in creation like God. You're saying no.
Like
He thinks that as well.
For what?
He thinks that as well.
Yeah, for example, the song.
These men keep saying no audio.
like what?
No audio.
I don't know what's.
I think, is it the jack? Wait, hold on.
So he
Oh my days. Wait.
Wait, you man, say if you can hear the audio now.
Say swear you can't hear the audio.
Wait, can you hear the audio now?
Say swear you can't hear the audio.
Oi, comment in the chat. You can hear the audio.
Chat, you can hear the audio. These man are. See, honestly, this one is blood of Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, hopefully they can hear the
If they
audio.
can't hear the chat, then that's your loss.
Okay.
Okay, listen.
So here's basically the point, yeah. Okay, so when you say Allah's
Actually, it's a topic, man.
attributes
It's too-
or Allah is absolutely
it's too
unlike.
semantical.
This is not semantical. This is the actual thing. When you say God is one, you tell Muslims, millions of them to billions of them, that Allah is one and that's the only thing you need to know about him. When I ask you these questions, how is Allah one?
Allah is one.
How?
There is
What do
no
you mean?
other
What's
God.
the how?
That tripod is one. Is that tripod one the same way Allah is one?
No, because there's many other tripods in this world, but there is no other God.
Okay, so when you say that Allah is one, you're saying that Allah is the only thing of his kind.
Yeah.
Great. That thing about Allah is Allah composite. Like we said before, we established that Allah has parts. He's a conglomerate of different parts.
Said it's composite.
Yeah, you already said he's composite, and then you said, oh, but you can have an
He might think it's composite.
You said that you can have an infinite amount of parts. That's what you said.
Yeah, no, I was talking about God.
Okay,
I
but
was
the
talking
issue.
about the number line.
Okay, no,
so
the
you're saying
number line
God
itself.
isn't composite, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then he can't have parts.
So yeah, a composite thing is just a thing that
Great.
has parts.
If you don't, if Allah does not have
But
parts,
they
hold
don't,
on.
so like, if you want,
Right.
If you want the counterpoint.
let's just make sure that we get your belief first, and then we can move. If you say that Allah does not have parts, then these things about Allah have to be the whole of what Allah is. But you don't want to say that.
Why don't you want to say that?
Why?
Say it.
Still ain't no audio.
Say it. That mercy is the whole of what Allah is.
It's
It can't,
infinite.
it can't be because there's other stuff.
No, you're saying that, but you said why can't he say that? Say it.
Can you man hear now?
Because he has other stuff.
No, you can't just force them to say
He's all
something. Let me
powerful.
think about it.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to think about it. That's why I'm giving you time. Say it.
Is that the whole of what Allah is?
Theological debate.
Is mercy the
How
whole
can
of
I
what
know
Allah is?
The whole of Allah is. I think most of what Allah is we don't know.
Okay. Is mercy objectively the whole of what Allah is, or is it not the whole of what Allah is?
No.
It's not.
Okay, no. So now you're back to this one. It's a part.
There's still no audio, by the way.
All right, just take the thing out. Take the thing out. Hold on. All right, chat. We don't even need like mics and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Alright, can you guys hear now? We're
Hey, I'll
taking the
give you
mic
these,
out.
we took the mic out, bro.
Whoever is holding the phone, I beg, tell him that no
I'm too
audio.
serious.
I beg, bro. I put it in my pocket. I put it in my pocket.
I might even be actually after today,
No,
bro.
but like,
But the Ashara still posit like a distinction. You see what I mean? They still say that there is a. They still say.
Because like, a
They still say it's
subset can
real
be
con-
the set.
A subset would be a set in itself, but the issue
So those
is.
can be 99 subsets that are also the set.
So
If
if.
you want to word it like that.
Are those
And then it
99.
doesn't
Hold
sound
on.
like I'm in a trap.
But
when
this.
I say it.
Actually, no. Wait. Listen.
That way I don't sound like I'm trapping myself.
What does
when I say
subset mean? What's a subset?
part of a set.
Part. He used the words.
nah,
there we
that's
go.
literally what it is.
That's
Yeah,
what it is.
If you have a set, let's say for example,
it. It can be the set itself.
Yeah.
A proper subset.
If you have a
It
subset-
has to be
part of
Sub.
of a set, yeah.
But
So
a
it's a
subset
part.
can be the
A
set
subset in itself, it's either possible that a subset in itself is indivisible or it's divisible. Let's say it's indivisible. You're saying that mercy in itself doesn't have parts with it. You're saying mercy is indivisible. But mercy in relation to the whole of Allah
we
is.
also know that God created mercy in 100 parts. He gave one part to all of mankind and 99 for himself.
Is
on the Day
that
of Judgment.
so? Allah has a finite amount of mercy.
He created mercy. So no, but infinite would be the 100.
Okay,
We don't
so
understand.
yeah, so this is my issue then. If the parts themselves are finite,
Yes.
when you put them together, you don't get something infinite. They remain finite. For example, 2 out of 10.
Okay.
2 out of 10 is finite, 3 out of 10 will be finite, as well as 5 out of 10. If you put 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, and 5 out of 10 together,
I understand it.
you get a whole
Yes.
rest, but it is not going to be infinite anymore.
But if it's the only thing that there is of that thing, let's say mercy. If we say mercy is one, and if
And then you divide it into 100 different parts.
exactly, but then mercy is still one. So that means the most amount of
Mercy
mercy
is-
that you can get is
Sure.
one.
Mercy is still one,
Yes.
but it's composed of finite things.
Okay.
Mercy is not-
But the
There
most
you go.
amount of mercy
You got
can
it.
get is that one.
Oh no, that's the thing.
That
That's
makes
the
it
most. That doesn't make it infinite.
Okay, that makes it the
You can
most
say
that you can
composite,
get.
you can't-
That's exactly right. It makes it the most that you can get. You got it. It's the most that you can get, but it's not infinite. Yeah, go
But what
on.
if there are infinite parts?
You would have to prove that.
But that's what he said. Look, there's so no. I'm saying
I'm doing the
I'm
number
saying
line.
the
I
other
think
part.
God is one.
I'm saying the other.
The number line, but the number line.
No, we don't.
Well,
no, we know a lot about
even
God.
if the parts
we
are
know a lot
infinite.
about God, but there's a lot about him that we don't know. So we don't know if he stretches to 100 or 101 or
But yeah,
infinity.
but bro, even if the parts are infinite, the fundamental question still remains the same. Is Allah dependent? Is Allah's parts dependent on him?
how is Christianity
or
gonna
is his
differ
parts
in any of this?
necessarily
Yeah, so show us
independent?
the
That's a whataboutism. But like, if you accept that, you know, what I'm saying that you believe that it's composite.
Muslims
Then...
argue about this all the
Yeah,
time.
that's
It's
what
an
we're trying to-
ongoing
we're trying to-
debate.
So yeah, so delve into it.
answer to this.
Wait, how about we finish the delving in, then we go to the Christian position? Because that's going to be a whole different kind of worms in
How
itself.
can you go into How can you?
We can
How
never
can the
rule
delving
them.
in reach a conclusion?
Yeah, this
By
this
settling
is-
on a
Right
position.
here in
For
Speaker's
14
Corner. Right now.
By settling on a position. That's the way you do it. You
For
settle on
14
a
centuries,
position.
Muslims have been debating this. It's not over.
14 centuries. Well, that may be a problem with the
It
conception.
doesn't mean you'll reach an answer today.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you reach an answer today, but you can reach
It's
a
about the
definitive
nature of
conclusion.
What is the Christian?
That's
What
fine.
is the
Get an
Christian
answer to
position?
You're trying to get me to do my view, and I get it,
Yeah.
but you can't do that without committing a fallacy. The way that you stop committing the fallacy is by finishing this point of conversation by either conceding or proving me wrong.
We don't. If we knew your point, we would not.
These are the points. I'll give you 3 points. A, Allah is composite. B, Allah is finite.
And I've literally been
And C,
arguing the same thing as
there
you.
are things about Allah that are dependent, according to your beliefs as you stated today. If you accept those 3 points, you can ask me about my position.
Okay, we don't though. We don't. Allah is not composite. Allah is
We don't accept these points.
That's the thing that you need to
For the sake
prove.
of argument, we
That's the
accept
debate.
it. For the sake of argument, we accept it.
So then you now accept that Allah is composite.
No, I'm saying for the sake of arguments, just so
we
I
can
can
hear
hear
your
what your
point.
so
You
your
can't
point
do.
is.
Okay, so
I knew they were gonna bring it.
you
to the
can't grant. Hold on. I'm not gonna. I never talked about the Trinity.
No, I never said nothing.
Yeah. So then we're not talking about the Trinity then. No, I'm not.
something to do with
Philosophy.
No, all
Now-
we're saying is just that the metaphysical nature of the Sunni conception of Allah is
It's
just,
finite.
yes,
It's really
finite.
bad.
It doesn't
It's,
make
it's,
sense.
it's not really good.
Okay, how does it differ? How does it differ
What's
from
your
Christianity?
point?
Yeah. So what's
You really want to go to my position.
They
You
really want to
can't.
hold that too close.
They really want to do the whole whataboutism thing, and I can't let you do that, my friend. I'm sorry.
What?
Whataboutisms
We
are
want to hear your
fallacious.
side.
Sure, but I can't give you my side until you concede your own. Because then we finish that conversation and we never have to return to it.
Look, it's
in a way we don't
getting a
understand.
point to
Okay, cool.
different perspectives.
Just
That's what we want.
try to simplify.
You have the
In a way we
same
don't
view.
understand. In a way we don't
We
understand.
don't. We literally have different views.
Look.
We've argued about
literally.
Hold on.
composition
In a
of
way,
God.
look, in a
everything.
way, in a way we
Part
don't.
of
In a way we don't.
Hold on, let me
understand-
say it, yeah.
In a way, God, we don't understand. God is infinite. God is infinite. In a way, we don't understand.
Infinite
What is the
means
Christian
not.
point of view?
Infinite means not finite.
Yes.
We've proven that He is. He is metaphysically
maybe
finite.
you're
Huh? So Allah is.
Proves a strong word, didn't it?
So Allah is metaphysically finite from this. We've concluded Allah is metaphysically finite. Now you want to ask me my view. What's my view?
Yeah.
Go on.
So what is your view? Yeah.
Oh, so I'm a classical theist. So what that means is the things that we say about God are God in Himself. So when we say, for example, that Allah, not Allah, because we don't believe in Allah. When we say that,
attribute is identical to God.
yeah,
himself.
when we say that God is good, right? God, we believe God is goodness itself. So they're not parts of Allah, they're literally the whole of what God is. Now this is important. In relation to us, we are able to apprehend these different things about God because they are virtually distinct. So because of the eminent simplicity of God, we cannot...
You can argue
hold on.
that's a higher level of
Hold on.
unity than.
No, I'm asking.
I'm arguing for you.
Yeah, because of the eminent simplicity of God, God Himself cannot be understood as simple because we're composite and divisible. So, when God displays Himself into the world, because of that simplicity, it causes real things that we can understand about God as distinct.
Think about it this way: when you have a prism, when white light passes through a prism,
Yeah.
you see it coming out as multiple
That's what
colours.
I was trying
The
to-
white light can
I was getting
represent
at
God's
99
simple
lenses.
nature, and the
Lenses.
colours that come out is how we as humans comprehend them as
what I
virtually.
meant.
But it's because of the white. But it's because of the white.
That's the one thing.
attributes are just-
No, but here's the issue.
His mercy.
Yeah, but the problem is mercy actually does exist.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not just your comprehension; it's the thing that actually exists.
But those look, those
say
rainbow,
mercy is
those
God.
rainbow colors actually exist as part of the one.
No, it's not.
put it through
In the white light itself, redness is not in the white light as much as it is in the white light upon the conception of it.
Outside the visible light spectrum.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
See it, we can't.
Yeah.
No, but
How many person in this group now? Look, can I hear the number?
Huh?
Can I hear the number? How many person?
1, 2, 3,
5.
4,
We
5.
are agreeing about we are 5 person here, yeah? No one disagree with this. I think that anything people are thinking about or talking about or not sure about is not true. Everyone think he's right. So if you think he's right,
Huh?
What was your argument about red light and white light?
So obviously, red light is not part of white light. Red light is just going to be a refraction of it. But it's because of what white light is in itself that it gives the ability for refraction to take place. So white light in itself is just one thing. But upon passing through the prism, you get these different understandings of that white light, which is green, red, yellow, blue, and orange. In itself, there is no purple light or red light. It is just the white.
Okay, and that proves what?
That proves my position that they're not metaphysical parts. Yeah. Thanks, man.
No, but just in general,
We're saying that their God is finite metaphysically. That was the whole
You
point.
made us say it. We didn't.
I did. I did make you say
we
it.
gave
Yes.
you deductive argumentation.
Okay,
So
and
we
then
can give
we
you,
carried on.
And then you heard my view.
Okay.
And then you heard my view.
Okay, maybe we view attributes as
Yeah. And then you heard my view, and then it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay.
So then that means
that's a
it's.
way to reconceptualize the 1999.
So our view
So wait,
is
wait.
that God is not composite.
So then that
and
means
your view
okay.
is
So here today, so you're a Sunni, yes? Do you know your Aqidah maybe?
Tiny bit. I mean,
Tiny bit.
Are you
I know what to
Atari?
look up.
What's
look up
your-
Hanafi if I want to.
No, that's your madhab. I'm asking your Aqidah. You know, Ashari, Maturidi,
Aphri.
Athari, maybe we don't know.
I guess.
Okay.
No,
In order to accept my position, you need to accept divine simplicity.
Yeah.
Do you accept divine simplicity?
Yeah.
Then you're not an
What
Athari
you said
anymore.
makes sense.
Then you can't be
Wait,
Sunni.
But you say
Sunni-
your position. Say
so-
your position.
so all
Each
Sunnis reject divine
attribute
simplicity.
is identical to God.
Allah,
himself.
yeah.
There's
the way to-
no
that's the way to
real
put it.
distinction.
But no, but hold on.
You can say that words are labels, and that's just a label.
But here's the thing. In order for you to
That's
do
just
that,
a way label
Hold
to
on.
view one thing.
But
But the problem is,
you can only view it through a lens.
hold on.
brother, I don't think you should be having this discussion.
In order for you to do that, let's finish it. In order for hold on, don't take him
maybe
away.
I'm very
Whoa, don't take him away because we're just about to see
No,
something.
hold on.
No, I was still speaking, please.
Can I please speak to him?
No, because I'm speaking to him.
All right.
Thank you. Look, in order for you to believe that position, because I have to be completely honest with you, in order for you to believe that position, you can't be Sunni. That's what he's trying to tell you. You can't be
No,
Sunni to
that's
believe.
not what
In,
I'm telling her.
can you believe in divine simplicity without being a Sunni?
Hold on.
Okay.
You don't tell him what I'm telling him.
Okay,
right?
sure.
I can tell him what I want
Fine.
to tell him, right?
But am I lying about
Can I
this?
speak to him?
Oh, wait, I just want to ask you
Can I-
something.
I'll answer- I'll
Am I
answer you.
lying about what I said?
I'll answer you in a bit.
Am I lying about what I
I'll
said?
answer you in a bit.
In a bit. You want to take him away from the
No,
convo.
no, I don't want to take him away from
So he's going to stay after you finish, right?
if he wants.
If he wants to, because you want to convince him to leave.
No, I'm not going to
Be honest, you want to convince him to leave, yes?
No, I'm
Then
not
you're not going to talk to him.
No, I'm not going to go.
What did you want to say to him?
Bro, whether I
Wait,
trust
you
him
can
or
just
don't,
say it
it's
out
not
loud
your
now.
Just say out now what you wanted to say.
Say now. What
He's going to say, I don't think he should have this conversation because he wants to take him away from understanding truth. So you want to convince him to leave. Right.
It's okay if you don't think you.
He's correct that you shouldn't be engaged in the conversation at all, but because he has engaged, he has a right to understand
No,
truth.
he has. If he wants, he
So
can.
why do you want to convince him to leave?
No,
You do.
Answer my question.
No.
Now,
Yeah, you
there's
are.
no
You are
cheap
using a
tactics.
very
There's no
cheap
cheap tactics.
tactic.
Logic
You know
and
why?
reason.
You know why? Because I'm telling him.
answer my question.
I
Why
am
do you want to
answering.
convince him to leave?
Because he's not philosophically versed.
What do you think will happen if he continues the conversation?
He's not philosophically
No,
versed.
what do
He's
you
not-
think will happen if he continues?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Is that scary for you?
What?
Is that scary
It's
that you
not
don't know
scary
what will
for me.
happen?
It's
That's
not
fine.
good. It's not good
So
for
then
me.
let me continue. Why is it not good for him?
You can continue.
All right, I'm going to continue.
Go ahead.
It's all right.
Please.
Cool. So stay there and I'm going to continue.
If you want.
Here's what I'm going to say to
Being
you.
a Muslim.
Hold on.
I'll
Here's what I will say.
deeper than this.
If you believe, hold on. If you believe in divine simplicity specifically, you can't hold to those main three
What's divine
schools.
simplicity?
The thing that we just said.
Yes.
So that his attributes
Are
are.
identical
There's
to
no real
him.
distinction between God's attributes. That he's identical to his
And the way of
attributes.
putting, and the way of formulating that is
Yeah.
that
That's a
he-
trap.
You're not
maybe,
talking anymore.
like, as an analogy,
That's a
like
trap.
a
You're not
light,
talking anymore.
and you're
That's a
viewing
That's
it through
fine.
A colored lens.
That's a trap.
A trap for what?
That's a trap.
A trap for what? Honesty, truth.
Bro.
You don't want him to have this conversation.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
You
what-
don't want him to have the
clarify
convo. Let him have the convo.
clarify
It's
it.
okay. Let him have the convo. If you believe in this that I'm telling you right here, as we just agreed on, that is something that is not believed in any of those three schools in Sunnism. You can't be Sunni.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say God is goodness. God is mercy, and just mercy itself. And God consists of mercy itself. That's Him.
No, those things in relation to
that's
God
something
are
you
God.
say.
They're identical to God. Yes, but you don't
Oh,
believe
now
that.
you're the one doing the asterisks and stuff. when I
That's
say
not
it.
Asherite position. The Asherite position is
No,
that
I
they're
said
really distinct.
asterisks. Now you're the
Oh, asterisks.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like when I qualify my
I'm
position?
literally saying your own thing.
No,
again, and
I
now
repeated
now
to
you're
you.
saying but.
No, I'm repeating to you what I actually said. You take part of what I say and then kind of say the spin on it. I'm not saying that you change my
It's
words.
your spin.
No, it's not my spin. It's your spin because you're just remembering what you think I said, and I'm just telling what I actually said.
You were saying that the concept of mercy itself is God.
The concept of mercy. No, the
Mercy
idea.
itself is God.
The
The idea of
idea.
God.
The
Mercy
idea.
itself is
No, the
God.
idea of mercy in itself is something that has come down to us. But mercy in itself,
Mercy in itself
in
is
relation
the whole
to
of
God,
God. No
is the whole
relation.
of God.
No, you
Yes.
It's identical to God.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
mercy
so no
itself is
relation
identical to
except
God.
identity.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you deny
But if
that,
you
then
deny
there's
that you can't be,
composition in
if
God.
you deny
believe
that,
he
then
has
you have the
part.
whole conversation that you just conceded to. But if you accept that, you can't be Sunni.
But they accept competition, so chat to them. I'm tapping out.
You're tapping out. It's all right. Have a nice day. Thank you for tapping out, man.
Chat to them though. Chat to them.
Chat to them though. He backed away immediately.
Chat to them about historical
He backed away immediately.
Because that's within Muslims. That's Ash'ari, Maturidi, Jahmid. Muslims debate
The
that.
okay. Which view in the Sunni schools of thought, which one can accept divine simplicity?
Look, he said something good. Does the God of the Bible not have mercy? Does the God of the Bible not have a wrath and
So
jealousy?
these are things predicated of God, yes. But in relation to God, they're identical.
So
God is mercy.
God is mercy itself.
and so God is jealousy.
Because mercy is love.
So God is jealousy.
We don't understand jealousy in that way. If you ask me my definition of jealousy in relation to God, I'll tell you.
Tell me, yeah.
Right, good. So
The jealousy we think of.
it's not the jealousy we think of in any sense.
And some say it's a mistranslation anyway.
Yeah.
It means that he just does it. He's zealous. He's overzealous.
Yeah,
He
which
doesn't want
which
that.
is just justice, which is literally just justice,
Doesn't want you to follow after idols.
which is justice, which is not jealousy.
Is God wrath?
We don't say God has wrath. Yeah, we say God has justice because there is a belief in Christianity known
Why
as
does God punish?
there's a
Punish the
simply by His justice. Now,
His justice.
this is very important. Now, in English translations, we will translate that as wrath to have the emotional story connecting with the reader. But God doesn't actually in Himself have anger. This is very important. When we say that God has wrath, that is simply just meaning that God has justice. Wrath isn't actually a thing in God. There is a Christian belief known as...
Because look, in the Bible it says God has an abounding of mercy. He has a lot of mercy.
Yeah.
So that's not infinite amount of mercy.
But
He's saying
that's
he has a lot
hold
of
on.
mercy, it's
That's known as superfluous. Hold on,
Yeah.
that's known as superfluous language. In a sentence, you have to have predicates and then you have subjects. For example, I have strength.
So what does that
Now-
mean if God is abounding in mercy?
In the Bible it says God
You're
is
talking
not a
about
God of
hold on.
confusion. So
But
why would
you're
he
talking
use
hold
that
on.
to confuse people?
When did I ever reference the Quran specifically when I was talking with your conception? I allowed you to define what you meant by your own terms, yes? You have to let me do the same. The way that we read the Bible is important. You're not just talking about the words on the page. Oh, sorry. The words on the page is not what's important. It's how those words on the page are understood. When we say that God has love, it's actually that He is love. We understand it in that sense. There's a belief.
But that's your opinion then.
There's a belief. It's not just my opinion.
It's all Christians.
It is the opinion.
Doctors of the church
It is the
say.
belief of the doctors of the church that in the essence of God, these things are not distinct. In the essence of God. Now, yes, sir. Now, with that being gone,
Or like prison.
I did.
Okay,
That's my
so,
topic.
So you said
I've got one question for you.
Okay, we got like so
it's
much
kind-
stuff.
So you said it's
You know?
kind of similar to
Yeah.
viewing through a prison. So let's say God is
Give me a
the
second. I
light.
need to spit my
And-
gum. Hold on. Give me a second. Don't film me. Don't film me. I'm spitting out my gum. Don't film me. Okay. Some of us need to keep our breath smelling fresh because of the thing under the mask. You know what I'm saying? My breath stinks.
Why
But
are you asking anyway?
but with the thing being said, I was
Wait,
trying to.
wait,
say-
let me finish. So
I'm trying to get this
So let's say
doctrine
God's
thing.
love. That's like view one part on or
It's
viewing
identical
through a
to-
prism. Whatever your
Yeah.
conception of the prism analogy is.
Yeah.
Can we say it's like a color? A color.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So your claim is.
But
God
redness
is
isn't
purple.
in whiteness.
Yeah, it represents a
God
virtual
is
distinction,
But his
not a real one.
it represents something known as a virtual distinction. So
If we're
redness.
taking the analogy
If
there,
we
you're
take the
saying God's
analogy,
mercy
I'm trying to take the
is
analogy
the same
with
as saying
you.
God is purple itself.
This is the issue.
not the light itself.
What? No.
I
So
get
It's your prism analogy.
here's the thing that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the prism analogy. You gotta let me finish.
Okay, yeah, let's hear
Because
that.
you tried to ask a question, then you tried to ask it, then you tried to ask a question, and he's still here, which is great. Now here's my issue. When you say the prism analogy again with the white light, is purpleness inside the light?
Okay, yeah.
No, it's not.
It's a wavelength.
No, it's just white light. There's no
Why-
different wavelengths in the white light. When you
I
when
don't
you
know the
separate,
science.
yeah.
I thought I knew.
For example,
Too deep for me. Wavelengths.
no. This is basic. This is
No,
Jesus.
it's packets of
This is
photons or something.
this is
It is in
GCSE
packets.
science. This is GCSE science,
Yeah,
right?
it's
GCSE
packets of
physics.
photons or something.
The way that what happens is
yeah,
light
we're
has
getting
hold
into that
on,
now.
light has one frequency, all right? White light has one frequency. When you take a color filter, you change the frequency of the light.
Okay.
But that's because the white light has the ability to change its frequency.
Okay.
So with God, because God is absolutely simple in its essence.
Yeah, innit? It's a physics is waffle.
You're saying that's untrue. Why is it untrue? Why is it untrue? Why is it untrue?
Because white light doesn't have
Why
that.
is it untrue?
Because white light
Doesn't
on its
have
own
one
doesn't have the
wavelength.
ability to change the wave.
It's
What?
a composite.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. Wait. When you take, hold on.
Doesn't have the ability
because I'm talking with him now. No, listen.
Yeah. Sure,
So white light
contains the light for all colours.
No, it contains the ability to understand all colors. Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually have all colors in it. No.
White light is a combination of all colors.
Yes.
In the color spectrum.
Yes.
You're literally going on AM and H, bro. You're just going on AM and H to do this.
Hold on.
Look. Hold on.
You just said something, right? White light has the ability to change its wavelength.
Yes.
What's the wavelength of
How?
light in hertz?
By color filters.
So you're telling me
by
there's
its
some white
interaction.
light that just chooses to
Hold
be,
on.
to be
By its
purple.
no. It's
It
by
doesn't
the.
happen like that.
Do you want me to answer your question? Do you want me to answer your question? So, hold on. In order to do no. It's not asking my physics. But here's it. So you just want to AM and H, right? Now, could you pull up some scientific sources where it talks about light frequency? Because light. Hold on. Light is a. Hold on. No. Light is a wave.
Science learning hub.
No, bro. Get an actual scholar, like an actual peer-reviewed trial, right? Now here's the thing. Yes. I'm not appealing to authority. I'm appealing to how the I'm appealing to how the scientific process works.
What's the
What is
wavelength
it?
of light in hertz?
What in
Why
hertz?
is- light
I
is
don't
a
know
one
the
wavelength.
I don't know the
It's a
exact
composite.
wavelength of light. No, it's a wave and a particle. We understand, but the issue is this: what light itself can be understood as a wave, correct? It travels in waves.
I took your physics. They kind of.
I know. When
The
you
physics
take
is wrong, but
when
let's
you
take
take a color filter, what happens to the light?
Let's say it changes wavelength.
No, it goes through the color filter.
Through a color filter,
A
not on
color
its own.
filter, right?
It changes
So a
through the color
different
filter.
Depending on the filter.
So an agent that changes
So the
color's
thing that
wavelength.
happens with when we understand God,
The
when
agent
God,
could be your perception.
the agent is going to be the prism of creation itself, multiplicity itself. So when God interacts with the world, there are these multiplex things that we understand about Him, which is what you were trying to say. It's not that there's literally this thing inside known as purple and this literally thing inside known as red, and they're just kind of part of Him. No, we're saying that when it passes through a certain prism, it can be understood in this way. I'll give you an example.
Through a certain prism is different from when it passes through a different prism.
Yeah. So when you have, for
And so when it passes through one prism,
it can be understood in one way. Yes. Now
so it can be understood as purple or red.
Or red,
depending
yes.
on the prism.
Depending on the prism.
So
Now,
why would you say the white light is purple?
what? I never said the white light is purple. I said in relation
Because
to
I'm
the
taking
light.
your analogy.
Yeah, in relation to the white light itself, there isn't going to be a distinction
So in
between
relation
white
to
and
God,
red.
God is love.
There's no distinction between love and justice.
There's no
for example.
real distinction.
There's no distinction
There's no
between them.
distinction
Okay,
between
bro.
purple
What we're saying.
and white.
Okay, what we're saying.
So
is there's a
in the
virtual
white,
distinction
hold on,
your
in the white,
mind.
you can understand white light as a combination of all those wavelengths. However, in the white light itself, there's no distinction between
I'm
the
just trying to
red
understand your
wavelength
analogy.
and then the purple wavelength. Now, I'm trying to give you an analogy from the Bible so you can understand what I'm saying.
I know.
So, when the Jews got cut off from salvation,
Okay, you can say they're the same in nature. I'm granting that.
When the
Let's say
Jews-
even at the surface level, just words, we see it as different. That's why we put the
No,
word
this
purple
is-
and the word red.
that's fine.
If the metaphor breaks down, his point's still not disproven. Is the metaphor breaking down, or is it?
No, it's
No, it's
breaking
okay.
down.
No,
It's his
no,
metaphor.
this is the thing.
We can stick.
This
to
is the
that.
issue. Hold on.
I'm Christian. I'm on their side. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I feel like they're not understanding.
Well, you should.
What are you saying, man?
Say yo! It's safe. It's safe. Oh my days, safe.
I'm trying to see because you want to talk about physics.
Yeah. Sorry, as I was saying before.
You might need to dumb it down, bro.
Yeah.
Same lenses, right?
I'm gonna
Lenses
try.
to view God.
Can I ask you a question?
It's like we're trying to
gonna
argue is does God have love
Or is he
is
love?
he love?
Yeah.
And we're using lenses.
He is love.
He is love, right?
We use the lens.
Now,
God is
let's
love.
look at the definition of justice, for example. It's just love applied differently. So love and justice in God are the same. The same way with happiness in God or satisfaction. Satisfaction is willing the good for someone else. Sorry, love is willing the good for someone else. Satisfaction is appealing for the good. It's wanting that good. So they're the same again. All these different things in God are going to be ultimately love, which is God. Now, what I want to say to you is that we can understand these different aspects of God when revealed into creation. For example, when in the book of, when we already went from the argument, when in the book of Romans, you have Paul talking about God cutting off the Jews from salvation. So you believe Jesus is the Messiah, right? When the Jews saw the Messiah, what did they do? Did they accept him? They rejected him, right? Now that rejection, we describe that as cutting them off. Okay? In that one action of cutting them off, there are two things we can notice in God: God's mercy and kindness, and God's severity. Not his wrath, his severity. We don't believe God.
Which you can say is like.
We don't say it's wrath, right? But
So
it's,
what? Why are you splitting
we
up then?
believe because we believe that God is impassible, right? Eastern Orthodox believe this as well as Roman Catholics. Like all of
Well,
them.
can
believe
you
that
say his
God is
severity is his love?
impassible. His
And you
sever-
can, yeah, because like tough love. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the issue is these are two different things about God that we are understanding by the one action of God's existence. That's because of the simplicity. Okay, so
You can even see that in a human level, like tough love.
Yeah, exactly. But my issue is this, right? The reason why we use the light analogy is only insofar as we can conceive of light in itself. The conception of light in itself does not hold red or purple until it passes through a certain color filter. Now, scientifically,
Only Moses saw the light. So.
now scientifically, you'll have different, I believe it's different wavelengths of the light being understood, right? But I do not think that I don't think there are papers that talk about red light as a wavelength inside white light itself.
That's the science, but we'll take your science.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that is the science.
Could you give me
That's
like
the
a
GCSE.
research paper? I could give you a research paper.
Bring out CG.
Wait, so you're saying wait, what?
He's saying red. He's saying red light as a wavelength is part of white light.
Look, there is no one wavelength
hold on.
of white light. White
No.
light is the science.
Wait, are you talking about for every colour is entailed within the white light? Because that's true.
That's true. We agree with
We're
that.
just talking about science.
You're not saying
We're
like
talking about textbook science.
Yeah, but textbook science also says
One wavelength of white light.
yeah, because white travels as one wave, and then when you have a color filter, it separates into different waves.
White light travels in a wave,
Yeah.
right? And then it splits into different colors once it enters a prism.
Yeah.
The prism is what gives it light its colors.
Yeah.
White light doesn't. It's a composite.
No. There's no colors. Look, there's no colors until it
Yeah,
gets
it's fine.
to the
It's not an
prism.
issue.
There's no colors until it gets to the prism.
I don't know.
There's no
We're gonna
colours
say
until
It doesn't, because what he was trying to do was he wanted to move away from talking about Islam and his conception to our God, to our conception.
Colors are just a
Yeah. Because
separation of
we did the whole thing about
Very nice to meet. I ain't spoken to you yet, John. Very nice to meet you, brother.
John. My name is
What's your
SIIIG.
brother?
Thomas, nice
Thomas,
to
very
meet you.
nice.
This is Thomas. This is his name is Sai, bro.
John, very nice to meet you, brother.
JC, you wanna wrap up?
Unitarian.
Wanna wrap up, JC? Yeah. Wanna wrap up? Okay.
Welcome back, SIIIG.
Hey, listen, I might not be back again.
Why?
I might not be back again. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm going to do other things. You get? But with that being said, we had some discussions as to why Allah can be understood as metaphysically composite. We then talked about divine simplicity, some of it. Oh yeah. By the way, this guy was a very nice guy.
Yeah, it was a good
Conversation, man. It was alright, man.
Are they Sunni Muslims? Are they Sunni Muslims?
They're Sunni. Now again, we will talk about these conceptions of God. Go and look at divine simplicity. Again, one thing that all Christians can accept is that God's essence is absolutely simple. I understand that there are many Eastern Orthodox people that watch the content I never knew until now, and they have something known as the essence energy distinction. One day I will do a thing on it. Not now. Don't ever do that to me again. You know what I'm saying? As a classical theist, I have my thing. But the Eastern Orthodox also accept that God's essence is absolutely simple, and in God there aren't these distinctions in His essence. Thank you for watching the content, and see ya. Yay! Yeah, man.